It's another day to make that progressive push, and it starts right here on the Wake Up Call.
Good morning. This is the Wake Up Call on X104.3 FM for today, Thursday, October 28th, the day after Independence, the day we celebrated 42 years of independence. At this time, we're going to be joined by Mr. Elliott Samuel, Chief of Laboratory Services. Are you joining us as Elliott or as...
Hi, good morning, Crystal. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, we can.
Okay, so thanks for having me this morning. I should actually be joined by Mr. Lester Ayer as well.
Okay.
And you know I wear many hats. I'm here in the
So which hat
capacity
you have on today?
I'm here in the capacity as an entertainer, a service provider, disc jockey, but I'm also here to give you my professional advice as the head of laboratory services program.
Okay, so I could say black eyes?
Yeah, you can say black eyes all the time.
Okay, I mean, but when you come in a professional, okay, no, let me phrase that. When you come under the hat of Chief of Laboratory Services, I have to say, Mr. Elliott Samuel. If you come as entertainer, DJ, promoter, entertainment, I could say black eyes.
Well, you can use both today, Crystal. I'm not walking away from my past and my passion and my present as a disc jockey and as a service provider as well.
Okay. But that's one thing to highlight though. Many disc jockeys wear several hats.
It's a common thing here for us in St. Vincent. I mean, I've known quite a few DJs who are professionals elsewhere, engineers, technicians, name it.
Yeah.
Doctors.
Yeah. Really skilled sector. Yeah. So it's a good thing, though. It's a good thing, considering what we're talking about right now, and considering the COVID-19 pandemic and all of the things that have been pretty much shut down or almost at a standstill and couldn't happen, that you are in a position where you are seeing from the health side. So you're in it and you're also in it. So you're, in a way, feeling the effects from both sides. So you are almost in a perfect state to talk about vaccinations. Mm-hmm.
It's really been a challenge for us at the Ministry of Health nationally to get people on board with the concept of vaccination, and more specifically COVID-19 vaccine. And in terms of the effect, I mean, we are feeling the effects as the Ministry of Health in terms of achieving our mitigating initiatives. And I mean, personally, for me as an entertainer, I am also feeling the effects of not being able to do what I love doing, which is, being out and about with the crowd, playing music, entertaining people, and, really getting deep and involved with my passion. So it's really affected me in a broad sense.
Yeah. Plus the hours you have to work.
Definitely.
Yes. So the entertainers have come together to, when you say entertainers, you mean, who are you including in that bracket?
Well, let me just go from the start, Crystal. I mean, we have launched, and when I say we, I'm talking about the collective of entertainers, and we have launched a bold new campaign that is called It's Your Best Shot. And the goal of the campaign really is to convince Vincentian, as an adjunct to what the Ministry of Health is doing, to get vaccinated against SARS-CoV-2 virus, the virus that causes COVID-19. Now, this is a priceless effort. I mean, I don't think I can really put a price on it. I mean, there's a budget, but I really can't put a price on it. The effort that these Vincentian entertainers, musicians, artists, service providers, they are putting in to this massive, what I call massive public education campaign. Now we have DJs, promoters, service providers who are really taking a bold shot at addressing vaccine skepticism here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And I mean, this is all occurring at a crucial time when we know we have a large portion of the population that are still undecisive about getting vaccinated for COVID-19. We are hoping that this campaign will help to change the mind of a lot of people, because we know for some people, having celebrities who are quote unquote familiar faces speaking up and saying that they are taking the vaccine and they can vouch for the safety of the vaccine, this will be convincing to some people. I mean, historically, if we look at it, I think records have shown us that in 1956, Elvis Presley would have taken his polio vaccine live on the Ed Sullivan Show. And following that vaccination effort by Elvis, they noted that the vaccination number among teens rose from 0.6% to just around 80%. And that was because, I mean, a celebrity such as Elvis took the vaccine. In more recent times, persons like Angela Jolie um, would have had a double preventative mastectomy, which triggered a huge spike in genetic testing for breast cancer. So, I mean, while a lot of essentials still rely on advice from their healthcare professionals, we can't overlook or we can't negate the power of influencers, and that is what this is all about in terms of bringing that power together to have influencers do what they can. I mean, performing their civic and social responsibility in terms of getting persons to do the right thing and to get on board with the
Mhm.
Ministry of Health for this vaccine campaign.
Okay, I love that you guys have come together to for a common good, right? But let me ask you at this point: was there the idea came from the entertainers and not the Ministry of Health?
Yes, the idea really resonated among that group. There were some key persons who brought the group together. I mean, I must commend DJ CJ for his efforts. And once the group was brought together and actually augmented, there are some other persons like, I mean, Shafia London and Lester, who have really taken the idea and ran with it. So, I mean, the group is doing well. The initiative has gotten off to a great start. There was a vaccine caravan that did South Rivers, Sandy Bay Fancy just recently, and the numbers was quite good. The turnout was good. The response and everything was excellent. So I do want to applaud the effort of the entertainers in terms of helping us to move persons. And when I say us, I'm talking about the Ministry of Health now, helping us to move persons towards the decision to get vaccinated.
Hmm. Right, you always have to specify who you're speaking on during this.
Yeah,
Oh
it
boy,
has.
it must be so difficult interviewing you sometimes, huh? Or for you to be interviewed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you spoke about a caravan. Is that the only thing that you guys, the group, they're getting involved with? Because you also mentioned education. So is it that you are going around talking about the benefits of the vaccine and why persons should go ahead and get themselves vaccinated, trying to debunk some of the misconceptions? What
Well,
else is
definitely.
involved?
One of the things that you will see coming out from this cohort are actual videos on the entertainers themselves getting vaccinated, and a lot of them have actually made the decision to move towards vaccination, and they're documenting that so the public can see that they too are getting vaccinated and they too are engendering a certain level of safety in the vaccine. Apart from that, you will see materials coming out in terms of audiovisual, talking about vaccine safety, talking about the benefits of getting vaccinated. So there's lots of things to be had from this from this coalition.
Okay, lovely.
Mm.
Do you think that I know it's had a positive impact on the number of persons who have come forward to get themselves vaccinated? Do you think that your initiative, when I say you and your, when I say your, I mean the group,
Mhm.
has been reaping better results than from the Ministry of Health?
Well, Crystal, you're kind of putting me on the spot there.
Sorry.
um, and it's a little
Any
too
which way
early
you go,
to
you're
say.
gonna win or lose, yeah?
It's a little bit too early to say because I mean, the end product is vaccination numbers, and we have to look at how much we have added to the vaccination pool in terms of persons coming to vaccination. And
Mhm.
there are other things now that is in the mix in terms of bringing people to vaccination. I mean, we've been having a recent spike. Persons are seeing what is happening. The real life picture is in front of them. A lot of persons are not liking that we have had over 60 deaths and persons are moving towards vaccination. But we also can't negate the efforts of this group. And we can't negate the fact that the caravan being on the road have brought a significant amount of persons to vaccination. So the idea is not to say who is better, but the idea is for us to work together to achieve that common goal of us achieving that target of herd immunity.
Mhm. Now, the reason I asked that, the reason I asked that, Elliot, aka Black Eyes, is because there are lots of people who do not trust the Ministry of Health. But if the same information comes from somebody else that they know, same information, probably the same words, all thing, then they just might listen. That's why I asked you that question there.
and
Yeah,
and that is
maybe
why I
this is
said
the road
earlier
that
on
they
that there are
have to
some
go.
people if they're getting it from an influencer, if they're getting it from somebody that they have as a celebrity, somebody that they trust, they have as a role model, it sort of resonate better with them. And that is why we are taking this approach where um, the artists, the DJs, the service providers, persons who are in themselves influencers, are now going out in the public to say, listen, I have taken the vaccine, or I am going to take the vaccine, or look at me, I am taking the vaccine. And I have engendered trust in the vaccine, and I know it's safe, and I want to let you know that you can take the vaccine as well. And this is really a bold step, and it's really doing a lot. We know it's going to bring more people to vaccination, and we as the Ministry of Health, we are happy for that.
Okay, lovely, lovely. Are more entertainers coming forward to join the group and to join the mission?
I'm still here, Crystal. I know I fell out a little bit.
Oh yeah. I was asking you if, as time progresses, as well, since you've started the campaign, have more entertainers come forward to be a
I have
part of
lost
the
your audio
initiative?
a bit there, Crystal.
Oh boy. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Go ahead. I'm listening you. I'm listening you on my vehicle radio, and I'll respond.
Okay, so let me ask again. Boy, watch your time in this place here. Have entertainers come forward to join in the initiative?
Well, when we started out, we really started out with a big group, and one of the first things that happened in the group is that there was a lot of discussion about skepticism, a lot of discussion about who believed and who didn't believe in the vaccine. But I think it was narrowed down to bringing the persons who had that common concern about helping and about us bringing things back to a state of normalcy, because I mean we all know that we want to get back to a point where as entertainers we can go out and we can do what we love and we can earn a living from it. There are some persons this is all they do, right? So the persons who had a vested interest in really getting things back to that state of normalcy, I think we have settled on that group, and there are persons who are coming along every day. I mean, they're seeing that things are organized, things are working, and they're getting on board as we go along. But the core group of entertainers with that vested interest have made that bold step, and we have other persons who are joining the initiative daily.
Okay. So what other plans do you have? You said you had a caravan last week. What is coming up next for this group here?
Well, Crystal, I that's why I wanted Lester to be here, because I am not that involved in the
Oh,
entertainers group, and a lot of the intricate details I am not aware of. But I know that there are lots of material that is being worked on in terms of print media, messages on social platforms, lots of videos are being done. So there are lots of things in the works in the pipeline. But as to the definitive details on those things, I may not be able to give you that now.
so Lester, like you drop sleep hour. He probably in the studio producing some music or something.
Yeah,
Lester, wake up.
Lester was supposed to be here with me this morning, unfortunately, but I he may have had some difficulties.
Oh dear. Hold a second there. Boy, not today, boy. Not today. Not today. All right. So the mission is to encourage persons to get vaccinated. As you are in both industries, the entertainment and health industry, maybe you can use this time to encourage persons to get themselves vaccinated. The benefits in a nutshell.
Well, I mean, I would always say to people that science is very dynamic, and one of the things about science, the constant is change. We may well see that tomorrow, next week, we're going to develop a cure for COVID-19, but it's not with us as yet. And as a result, vaccination is really our best alternative. We know the benefits of vaccination. I don't want to go through that whole thing about how vaccines are going to benefit you, but we are seeing the real life benefits of vaccination. When we look at the statistics, we are seeing that 97% of the persons who are getting hospitalized, the persons who are dying, are persons who are not vaccinated. And this must say something to us. This is not just the picture that we're seeing in St. Vincent. We are seeing the same thing replicating in Grenada, all of the other islands and the international communities as well. So it must mean that we are at a point where, even barring a study, the real life experience that we're getting now is that vaccination helps. While as a vaccinated person, you may get COVID-19. I know a lot of vaccinated persons in Timison would have may have contracted COVID, but they are not seeing the sort of severe infections that other persons are seeing. They are not having the loss of quality of life, and they're not seeing the severity of disease that other persons are seeing. So the proof is there, the living proof is there that vaccinations work. Get get vaccinated today. Trust me, we all want to return to that state of normalcy. We all want to get back to what we love doing, and to exist in a society where we're not living in fear and in lockdown.
You could say that again. A question coming in on the WhatsApp there. Somebody is asking, they're saying they're interested in taking the vaccine, but they're pregnant. Can they go ahead and do so?
They're interested in taking the vaccine, but
They're pregnant with child.
yes. I mean, we have always encouraged persons who are pregnant to have consultations with your healthcare provider. But I mean, the records have shown us that, I mean, persons who are pregnant, if you expose yourself to COVID-19 disease as opposed to getting vaccinated, you are in for a rough ride. So you are going to be strengthening your chances to have a safer and a better pregnancy if you're vaccinated. And we do encourage you to go and get vaccinated today.
Okay. Another question that came up some time ago. Can you give blood? Can you donate blood once you've been vaccinated? And would it matter
This
which vaccine you've taken?
this is often a big question. I get this question a lot. Now, I would want to refer people to the American Association of Blood Banks. Now, they have a document out, it's online, and the document speaks to donation post vaccination. Now, if you have taken what is considered to be a non-replicating viral vaccine, you can give blood without any delay. And I want the public, I'm going to say this again. If you have taken what is considered to be a non-replicating viral vaccine, you can give blood without any delay.
In
Non-replicating
English.
vaccines, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, Sputnik, these are all non-replicating viral vaccines. The only vaccine that you have some reservations about are what is called the live attenuated viral vaccines. And those are things like um, Sinovac. We are not using Sinovac in St. Vincent. Our Ministry of Health have never endorsed the use of Sinovac. So persons here don't have anything to worry about. If you have gotten vaccinated, you can go and you can give blood without any delay, any adverse effects.
All right. So I hope you guys heard that. Okay. All the vaccines that are available for us here in SVG, you can give blood right away. All right.
Yes, you can.
So no delay. Give blood today. That's a nice little thing there for the
Nice
donation.
little rhyme, the crystal.
Yeah.
This
I keep
style is
them coming.
wicked.
Yeah, man, wicked. So we surpassed the 42,000 doses aim that the Ministry of Health had for the 42nd year of independence. Now, in terms of second doses, though, once you break that down, it's just 17,000. How do you feel with such a low figure compared to other Caribbean islands?
Well, you can see the glass as half empty, Crystal. I'm seeing the glass as half filled because just a few weeks ago we were down at 13,000. So if we have added 4,000 new vaccinatees within just a few weeks, I mean, we are doing good. We are heading in the right direction. And I think if we keep the momentum up, especially with the help that we're getting from groups like the entertainers and other persons, we are going to be achieving our goal pretty soon.
All right, which is 90%
Yes. Of the
at some,
eligible population.
on the eligible population, 12 and up. Boy, everybody here, every sector that has been directly affected, they're praying right now, praying for us to get to a point where we can inject some more money into the economy and do things like we used to. You understand? But that time will come at some point. Now, any final thoughts you want to share with us? Perhaps some encouragement to other sectors to come together. One of the things that we have had or we have spoken about is people not willing to come together for a common cause when they don't directly benefit from an initiative or from something, or they can't see money in their hand, they don't really like to volunteer or take the extra step. Maybe some encouragement to other groups to settle your differences and forget about the past and whatever and come together to sort of encourage people to get themselves vaccinated.
Okay, so one of the things, Crystal, that this response by the entertainers doesn't resonate only with the Ministry of Health. I think one of the things that they engendered was to have a multi-sectorial approach. So you may well find that other sectors are involved. But for what you're saying, I do encourage persons who are still, for whatever reason, still sitting on the fence in terms of you're not convinced, and because you're not convinced, you don't want to join in the fight. We are encouraging you to still get information from reputable sources, to educate yourself so that you can in turn educate others. I mean, it's important for us to get vaccinated. I mean, we can't say this enough. If we want to return to that state of normalcy, I mean, COVID-19 is going to affect a lot of things, and not just our health. It's going to affect our economy. It's going to affect our food security. It's going to affect, I mean, our
Going to?
social dynamics. A lot of things are at stake. So lots of stakeholders, I mean, should come into the play in terms of getting the information out, get persons to get vaccinated. And I do encourage you, if you're still sitting on the fence, get your information from the reputable source, convince yourself so that you can in turn begin to lead others to vaccination.
Some of those reputable sources, really quickly. Somebody shout today, boy.
Yes, yes, I'm on the road.
That's always happen when you're popular. Some of these reputable sources that people can go to.
Well, we do have the Ministry of Health, excellent website, health.gov.vc. Lots of information there in terms of COVID-19 protocols, testing algorithms and stuff like that. You can go to the Center for Disease Control, CDC, and WHO PAHO website. So there are lots of places that you can go and get information. I want, again, ask people to desist from using YouTube
Google. Oh.
and Instagram and WhatsApp as your source of information. You know what is happening there.
Oh yes, a lot of misinformation and
And
it's spreading quick
and
like
disinformation.
and spreading quick like wildfire. Now there are some influential people who are anti-vaxxers. I don't know how you're gonna tackle this one here, but how do you deal with those people who promote the anti-vax campaign and who are in the entertainment sector? Or
Well,
how do you feel
we
about it?
we have, let's just say we have millions of persons across the globe who are healthcare providers, persons who have studied the science, they understand how vaccines work, they understand the benefit of vaccine, but they are allowing themselves to be penetrated by disinformation and are in turn spreading that disinformation. It's something that we're battling. We are trying to convince this group of people, especially those here in St. Vincent, who are in the healthcare industry, to desist from doing it. I mean, if you have a personal opinion regarding vaccines and vaccination for COVID-19, we still encourage you to. We are not forcing you to do what you don't want to do, but try not to be spreading that information to desist other persons from getting vaccinated.
All right. Any final thoughts, Black Ice, Elliott, Samuel?
Well, I just want to encourage this group of entertainers, DJs, promoters, musicians, artists, service providers to continue to do what you're doing. You're doing it selflessly. I know that you're not in it for any sort of monetary gain. I mean, I've been in the discussions, discussing the cost and the budget and the financial implication. I know what you're doing is really a merit good, and I applaud you for it. And I just want to encourage you to continue doing it because we are already seeing the benefits of of your activities.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. And I hope you have yourself a wonderful day. You went to work now? Oh, no, don't tell me because your
I'm
boss
I'm
might be hearing.
I'm on my way. I'm on my way into work.
Oh, anyway. I'm hoping you're late, because you just get in trouble there.
Okay, Crystal. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Not a problem. Have a wonderful day. All right. All right.
Okay,
Thank you
good.
so much. All right. That was Mr. Elliott Samuel there. He's a chief of laboratory services at the MCMH. I'm going to end the live here on Facebook.